Another great thing to take, actually, you can use this as one of these powerful ancient herbs. It's from going all the way back to the ancient Greece. The Greeks, they used to use this pretty much for everything. A lot of it too has to do with gastrointestinal problems, but it's an antiseptic, and that's oil of wild oregano. Oil of oregano. It's not the same as oregano sprinkles, like people put oregano sprinkles on food. It's different. It's wild oregano. It's an oil that comes from the wild oregano leaf. They take the oil out of the leaf somehow, and they make this oil of oregano. It's very powerful for antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral. It's really basically like an antiseptic. It can basically eliminate a lot of the fungus that's in the stomach, and also if you have a problem, like if you have like it as an oral antiseptic, it's one of the best things around. Now, if you take this orally and you leave it in your mouth, it's too strong straight. Like you just actually put this oil of oregano, and it would burn. It would burn if you got it on your tongue or your gums. So what you would do is you would mix it with some coconut oil, and to basically dilute it. The coconut oil itself is antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, just like the oil of oregano. But this is like very powerful. It's also known to it's also known, like if you have an infection in the mouth and or in the gums, if you take the oil of oregano and one substitute also you can use for instead of oil of oregano is tea tree oil, but that's also something that stinks. It's so powerful. But mix it with some coconut oil and then use it in the mouth, or if you have an infection, it'll actually pretty much, it'll clobber it pretty much like any kind of medicine. It's been around since the Greek times. It's very good for, like, in other words, if you use it you can use it on a cut, but again, like I said, mix it with some coconut oil because it's too damn strong. Now you can take the capsules and swallow them, that's no problem. It's very powerful antifungal. A lot of times people get a condition like it's a fungal condition that's in the stomach or intestines, candida, and it's a very tough type of fungus to get rid of. Oil of oregano can very much go a long way in clobbering it. Now, the one thing with oil of oregano, basically probably the main drawback, is that it could interfere with the body's absorption of iron. So, if you're taking a lot of this oil, I don't like take oil of oregano every day. I kind of rotate things. I take a lot of different things. A lot of things have overlapping purposes. Like dandelion root is a pretty powerful antiviral. It's actually a very powerful antiviral too. A lot of different things. But I do quite often take the oil of oregano. But it does interfere a little bit with the absorption of iron. So if you're taking this every day, for instance, or using it a lot, you might want to make sure you take a supplement or a vitamin that contains enough iron in it to supplement your diet. That's about the main drawback to it. Now, it's a very, very powerful antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, and fungal and bacterial, all three, right? But the thing is, it stings. It can actually sting. And the problem, so the way to alleviate that is you mix it with something, another oil, coconut oil, which is also antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal. Not maybe as antifungal, but still pretty damn good. But when you mix the two oils together, you're not going to have that stinging sensation. So you can use this on the skin. You can take it internally. Both things you can take internally. If you have some kind of skin ailment or something, a lot of times from an infection or anything, this goes a long way to clobber it. It's amazing. But you don't want to put it on there straight. And these are capsules, but you can get it in like a liquid form too. But just want to point out again, though, the oregano you buy in the supermarket, the sprinkles, have nothing to do with this stuff. This is totally different. This is oil from the wild leaf, the leaf of a wild oregano. It's something different. It's a different species altogether. But it's been around since the Greek times. It goes all the way back to the ancient times. And I recommend it. This is like one of those miracle cures too. There's a lot of them actually, and I don't take every single thing every single day. But I do rotate a lot of these things, and I have a good supply of oil of oregano on hand. But it's powerful medicine. especially like if you have a problem with Candida, where you have like digestive problems or something like that. Sometimes the oil of oregano goes a long way to get rid of the fungi that's in the gut that's causing problems, because a lot of times fungus in the stomach and the intestines will cause general health conditions where you're not digesting the food as much, because a lot of times your general well-being and your overall health, even your weight and your immune system, is all in the stomach and the gut lining. It's actually in the bioflora. This gets rid of a lot of the bad stuff that's in there. Also, the other link to general overall health is oral cleanliness, and like that's one reason you'll do oil pulling with, say, coconut oil or sesame oil. That's another subject. But if you're using oil of oregano in the mouth as a disinfectant, that can go a long way, not just for oral health, but your overall health, because a lot of times germs enter the body through the mouth. There's like a direct link to the bloodstream right at the gums. So this is actually more powerful than the mouthwash, but you can't really take it straight. So what you would do is you would mix it with you'd mix a little bit of oil of oregano with coconut oil, so it's not too stingy. But it's actually far more powerful than mouthwashes that are actually sold. It's very potent stuff, and it really will kill a lot of the bacteria that even causes dental infections and dental decay. So it goes a long way for many purposes. So by concentrating on getting rid of microbes in the oral, in the mouth, and also in the stomach and in the intestines that are bad, because this doesn't actually destroy the good microbes, it destroys the bad fungi and things like that. It's a very, very powerful medicine for that reason. And that actually, when you're concentrating on those two areas of the body, like the oral, the mouth, and also the stomach and the gut lining and stuff, that actually contributes a lot to your overall health in a lot of different ways. It's actually linked in a lot of ways. A lot of people don't realize that, but it is. So it's powerful medicine. It goes all the way back to the Greeks, the ancient Greeks. They used to prescribe it for everything there was. But then again, I just remind you, it's not oregano leaves like the sprinkles. It's oil of wild oregano. They actually press the oil from the leaves and they get the oil out of it, and that is actually what you're getting here. It's nothing to do with the oregano in the supermarket. It's totally different. You actually have to get this from a health food store, ordered online, or vitamin store or something like that. It's different, but it's very, very powerful stuff. It can go a long way to even against scalp infections. But like I said, you don't want to apply oil of oregano straight most of the time. You want to actually cut it or mix it with coconut oil, so it's not too, because or else it'll sting. It's that powerful.